One of the biggest titles at Gamescom, and with the release barely a month away, is Rage. We're here with Tim to talk about it. Tim, thank you very much indeed for joining us. How does it feel to be finally near release?
Yes, it's very exciting. With new IP, new engine, first true cross-platform game from id Software. I mean, we've been working on it for a long time, and I'm really excited to get it out the door and have people play it.
Now, obviously we've had a play for the first few hours of the game. We finally got into Wellspring, and the scale of it just suddenly opened up. With so many little odd jobs and stuff to do. Can you sort of talk us through the side quests and what options players will have throughout the game?
Well, for us, player choice is important. And now, Rage is not an open world game. It has a story that you need to progress through, but we want people to have the opportunity to do some other things that enhance the experience, reward them. Racing is a great example. You only have to complete 2 races in the game, but we have, I think, 25 races that you can compete in. Same with the posted jobs, the sewer missions. Again, we wanted to make this, the Rage universe rich, diverse, and give players, a lot of choice when they're experiencing the game.
I'd just like to talk a little bit. People's first play of Rage is actually as being on iPhone, really, with Rage EXD. Now, it's almost like what people may not know, they're actually getting a sneak peek of some of the levels seen in the game proper. Can you just sort of talk about possibly how Rage EXD and how Rage EXD sort of came about?
Okay. So, when we were looking at launching Rage, it's a new IP. There's a lot of great games out there. John crafted the id Tech 5 technology, and it's very scalable. It can scale up, it can scale also down. So John thought, hey, it would be great to make an iPhone app that's kind of in the Rage universe to kind of use as this marketing tool to kind of kick off our bigger campaign. So we picked Mutant Bash TV, which is only a small section of the main game, but it had so much rich character to it that we could turn it into an entire app. And so we've taken areas from the main SKU. We Mutant bashed them up a bit, and then we had them on the iPhone, and it was great. It was a great tool for us to launch kind of the awareness of what Rage was.
And you say that obviously enough, Mutant Bash is a part of the main SKU as well. We saw mention of it in one of the Mutant layers. Basically, a couple of guys were out talking about it. Well, how does Bash TV and Rage proper play out?
Well, again, it's actually a pretty small component, but it's one of my favorite components. So you need a bigger car. You have a buggy, and eventually you'll need a Caprino. And the only way to get the Caprino is to win it in a race, okay? But this race that you can win a Caprino is a sponsored race. And the only person that has a sponsorship for you is the guy that runs Mutant Bash TV. So you can see, you go ask for sponsorship, he says, I'll sponsor you, but you have to compete in Mutant Bash TV. And then hilarity ensues. But what's really cool about Rage is we can have elements like that take the player in a different direction, that are don't take themselves too seriously, but are really just fun and engaging. And that is the spirit of the whole game, fun and engaging.
You mentioned on the id Tech, if I can know I keep saying ID, id Tech. I just want to sort of draw upon the sort of stuff that was talked about at QuakeCon. There was mention about the install size for the Xbox 360. Can you sort of clarify that and explain what the situation is that?
Yes. So, what we recommend is that you install the game to your 360. Now, we discovered that you don't actually have to install all 3 discs. So if you're a little tight on space, go ahead and install the first one, and when you get to a certain point in the game, when you move on in the story to the next chapter, you can actually uninstall the first disc and install the second disc. So, and there's really no reason to install the multiplayer disc, really. I won't install that on my Xbox because you just don't really need it. But yes, it was ultimately it'd be great to put all 3 of them on there. But if you're worried about space, don't stress about it. Plus, you know what? It runs great. It looks great. If you don't want to install it, again, we just want to make sure players have the optimal experience. It's gonna be great. Don't stress about installed on 360 or PS3 or PC. There's been way too much talk about, PS3 is this and Xbox install and non-install, and Really, the game's great. It's fun. It's engaging. It looks beautiful. It runs super fast on everything. Yeah, everyone should stop stressing about which console to play it on.
You guys are obviously the pioneers of the genre. How does it feel stacking yourselves up against your own legends? We're not even talking about the other FPSs out this year. We're talking about your past. Yeah.
Yes, having a pedigree that we have and a legacy that we have definitely puts a lot of pressure on us. But it also gives us the opportunity to do new IP. Nowadays, it's very difficult launching something, and you need people to pay attention to what you say. So having Doom and Quake and John Carmack and things like that really lets us talk about Rage and have people listen. So it's on one part it's scary and there's a lot of pressure, but on the other part it's fun and exciting because people will listen to us and we can launch new IP and we can make waves and stuff. So it's the best of both worlds, I think.
And is there a conclusive end to the story here, or would we possibly see more of Rage in the future?
Yes, hopefully it'll sell well. I think it will. I think we'll do great. I want Rage to be a franchise. I want to make another one at some point. The world that we crafted, we've made it in such a way that there's more to it. I want players to feel that stuff happened before they got to the game and stuff will happen after they leave the game. That was one of our goals, to make a richer, more diverse universe that this game can fit into.
And I guess one last question then. We talked about also in the preview about the vast collection of little gadgets and gizmos that you can use when later on in the game. Can you sort of just talk us through a few little ones of those and perhaps pick out a favorite for your own?
Yes, so one of the key elements of Rage is player choice. And one of the ways that we do that is we allow you to have every weapon you find or buy you can keep. You don't have to drop anything. Ammo types. We have our classic id Software weapons like the shotgun, but we have 4 shotgun ammo types that really kind of, and some of the ammos you have to actually make yourself. Then we have these engineering items that are made of separate components, but those components are shared, so you can't make everything all the time. And what's really neat is, as we're testing Rage, we're finding that people play the game really differently. We have some people that put all their effort into making turrets and RC bomb cars and the little spider bots. Some people like myself, I love ammo types. I like making Fat Mamas and Pop Rockets and stuff, and I use all my money in ammo types. And then there are those classic id fans that say, give me a shotgun, get out of my way, I want to play this game like this. So it's really cool to have that opportunity to play it the way you want to play it.
Listen, thanks very much. From Tim, Ed and myself, that's all.